What we have here is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee. Has some slight modifications made. Got 31, 10, 50, 15 tires. These are Dakota Definities put out by Pep Boys. Not too bad. Pretty good on mileage. Grips mud, dirt, rocks pretty good if you let the air out a little bit. See the lift on the rear end. We got 2-inch blocks, extended U-bolts, and we got half of a 500-pound lift kit for the springs. Still have to do some minor modifications to the shock mounts, raise them up a little bit, and put some extended snubbers so the tires don't ride so high up on the body. Pretty pleased with the effects of the rear end. Usually you get a spring warp with blocks on, but I cured that by putting those little helpers on. Move on to the front end. As you can see, I did a cutout in the fender. Put some trim on there so you won't cut your arm on the sharp edges. As far as the lift on the front, that consists of a piece of 3-inch well pipe with a huge washer that's welded on. One extra rubber snubber on the bottom. Takes all the noise out. There's virtually no noise from this front end whatsoever because of that. Have homemade shock extensions. Work pretty good. Have had it at max angle and no problems, no bending, no nothing. One of the reasons for such the wide cut on the fender flares was because of the 10-inch wide wheels that I'm running. I like that wider stance. It makes it more stable going up hills and going diagonal up hills especially. This was the modification for the link over that holds your front end in place. If you can see right there, the amount of lift that I had allowed me to go ahead and just clear that one hole totally. I think it led me over on this side maybe just a 1/4 of an inch, but that leaves me some room to go up just a little bit higher if I need to. As far as riding straight, she rides straight and true. Not too much of an angle on the steering mechanism. All works just fine. Even kept the stock stabilizer bars and links. What we have here is a Detours USA winch mount. Comes with the D-rings installed. This thing's made by a fella that actually knew what he was doing, and it was fairly priced too. Also has built-in stabilizing for your steering box. Makes it all just that much tighter. 8,000 pound Chicago winch. Saw this advertised on a YouTube video. A lot cheaper than a Warren. A little bit slower, but she works. Has pulled me out of the big mud puddles many times. What we have here is a homemade induction system. I call it the True Snorkel. It is hood mounted. My Jeep very rarely sees water or mud over the hood, so anything that gets up here is pretty well taken care of. It is a true snorkel. I don't know if you can see it in the light. I'll raise the hood a little bit. You can get a gist of what's going on here. All this is handmade. All the connections. Little stout down there on the bottom. Keep it up straight. Nice and clean off the valve cover. You still get to your oil input. Actually made with the stock rubber tube for the stock air box. No problem. Actually took about 10 minutes to figure it out. Nice clean cut hole. Also acts as a heat vent for the engine compartment. A lot of air getting in there. No problems with overheating. What we have here is twin electric fans. Both of them are Jeep. Try to keep your vehicle all Jeep if you can. This one had a little crack in it. Got it at the salvage yard for $2. Can't beat that. Just drop that fan out of the way and stick that electric one in there. You have no problems. And that about does it for my 2000 Jeep Cherokee.